Happy Wild Game Wednesday. How's everybody doing? We already got a couple people on, so thanks for joining us. We have a special treat for you this evening. We are going to be doing stuffed venison croissants with a whole bunch of fun ingredients. So feel free to interact. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. We need to celebrate that. So let's celebrate. I got a little pumpkin lager because it's pumpkin spice season. So you know what that means. You got to get a little spicy. I think I had a pumpkin one last year around this time. I don't remember if I liked it or not. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, it's a good thing it's beer. I'll still drink it, but I've had, well, let's just say, not so pumpkin-y beers. But anyways, it's beer. So we don't waste beer here. And I'm not going to waste beer today. All right, so let's get into cooking. That's why everyone's here after all. Thank you again for joining us. Make sure you follow us and hit that subscribe button or that follow button or that Twitter button or that YouTube button or whatever button you got in front of you. Make sure you click it. Hop in the chat. I love chatting with people. I love interacting. So don't be afraid of that either. I got the beast all fired up. She's running hot. A little bit chilly here, so I got my Montana sweater on. Fun backstory on this. This was actually the sweaters that I bought the team for our very first competition. Do you need to change the volume hot? Too quiet. All right, so that's the first button. And that to the right. Check, check. All right. Here we go. It's probably, we heard the audio is a little quiet. Might be my beard blocking. I got two mic screens. When it's windy, you don't hear anything. It could be tsunami coming through, and you wouldn't hear a thing at all because of my beautiful, glorious beard. All right, so first things first, let's get our meat going. One of these days, I'll actually do a vegetarian dish and really blow your minds. But that day is not today. And it won't be tomorrow either, because we're not on tomorrow. But we are going to be on Friday, so make sure you check us out on Friday, because that's always our Friday night barbecue party, where things go off the rails usually. And it's really fun to watch, because we don't know what's going to happen. Shit happens. All right, so I got my wild game here. We are doing ground venison today, and this comes straight from Big Sky Country, of course, Montucky. And this is whitetail. Tastes different than Midwest deer. Deer from all over different regions of America and the world will have different flavor profiles because they eat different diets. So my preference, of course, because I was born and raised on it, the Midwest folk here, they're like, we love Midwest deer because all they eat is corn. Montana deer will eat berries and leaves and foliage and different things like that. And so they are going to have a little bit different flavor profile. So I have a cast iron pan. It might be a little hard to see with the black on black, but I do have a cast iron pan here sitting in the Traeger. I'm going to make sure we get this sprayed down. And I got it nice and hot. We're running about 400 degrees here. I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see. My Traeger's at a temperature of 403. Tell me, baby, do you do more than grill? I'm hot-blooded. Hot-blooded. And that's why I'm not a singer in a band. Thank you for everyone if you just popped in and just joined with us. We're making whitetail croissants, and I'm actually going to put on some gloves so I don't contaminate my vegetables with the sweet, meaty goodness. That is whitetail deer. You'll see a lot of people at competitions, they all use black gloves. They think they're so bad. They think they're so bad. I'm a bad mamma jamma. I got black gloves on. Not us here at Montana Max. We use blue gloves in honor of the big blue sky from where I hail from, the 406. Black gloves. Like it make it cook better. I don't think so. Blue gloves do, though. That's a pro tip. So I'm going to go ahead here with my hot mitt. I put a little oil in my pan. pull this out. That's what I love about my ironwood sliding bottom shelf there. So I can do work outside and then just slide it right back in. I'm going to pop open my wild game. I'm going to grab a little hunk of it here. That'll be just fine. And I'm going to hold it up to the camera because wild game looks much different than beef or anything of that nature. You see that color? Very little fat in it, very lean. So we want to be careful of cooking it, overcooking it, that is. A little bit more forgiving when it's ground than if you're doing steaks and stuff like that. We are going to be doing some steak and roast recipes as we go into further on episodes. We got a nice, easy one tonight. Sometimes you want a nice, easy recipe. You know, something you don't have to think about too much. Awesome. Stream is looking great so far. That's good to hear. I'm old, so I'm just getting into this whole technology thing. Hey, you kids like to Twitch? Of course you do. Well, now I do too, because I'm here spending it with you on a Wednesday night. All right. Got that broken up just a little bit by hand there since I got the gloves on. I will be breaking out one of Jen's favorite devices, the meat stomping stick. That's my new name for it, meat stomping stick. And in honor of Jen, of course, because also any rub that works that you like on beef, you will probably like on a wild game. So I'm going to be using a little Kansas City to season up my venison here. Awesome. A lot of people find the taste of wild game to be, well, gamey. And you know what? That's all right. Seasoning will help adjust that for you. Less, what's the word I'm looking for? Cool friends that don't like wild game. You can season it up and give them a little bit more of a taste that they're willing to do like. But if you have a good deer, have a good elk, moose, whatever you're cooking, and process it properly, it should taste really great all the way around. Wild game gets a bad rap, and a lot of that is the mental stigma. All right, so we're going to start getting that cooking. We'll break it up as it gets a little hotter down the road here. All right, and I got all kinds of good stuff here. All right, so let's start with our side because it's going to take a little time to cook, and I have some lovely sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes work awesome with wild game. And all we're going to do, I'm going to take my big old Gunter Wilhelm Nakiri knife here, and we're going to cut them into large rings, okay? And that's what, look at that. You can see, I don't even have to hold up to the camera, but look at that beautiful orange color. Perfect for fall when you're plating your dishes and you're looking for different colors. I mean, look at that bright orange. If I hold it up here, check it out. It's like the two suns in the Star Wars setting. That's how brilliant that orange color is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go watch Star Wars for the good of humanity. So we're going to cut about 1/4 inch thick slices here. One of my favorite things to do, not only sweet potatoes, but regular potatoes, is cooking them on the grill. They soak up that smoke flavor really nicely. On the Traeger, it's not overpoweringly. So your guests aren't going to complain and be like, well, oh my, this is too smoky. I don't know, it's too smoky. You're not going to get that complaint. You can always add more smoke, but just standard setup as is, you're going to be just fine. Your guests are going to be like, oh my gosh, there's so much flavor. You'll be like, it's wood-fired, bitches. All right, 1 potato down, 2 potato to go. But yeah, you can throw the whole potato on there and let it ride. And then mash them, smash them, whatever you want to do with them. We'll do something like that a little bit later. Maybe a Thanksgiving episode, we'll do a sweet mashed sweet potato recipe. That'd be awesome. Jen's over there like, yes, please. Yes, I would like that. I like the sweet potato. Thanks again if you're joining us. We're on all your favorite social media platforms, and even some of your not so favorite, depending on what you're doing. But make sure you give us a like, follow. Stay tuned. Friday night, we're doing Friday night barbecue party, and then every Sunday, we do the famous game day smoke down, where we do tailgating food that fills you up, makes you fat, makes you happy, all that kind of good stuff. We kick all the rules of health aside and have a really good time. Talk the NFL, talk some games. We will not be drinking pumpkin beer. That is going to be for today only. But it's beer, and beer is good. All right, so I've got all my discs cut here with the sweet potato. We're going to lay them all out. You can see that nice field of orange that I got down here. Let's pop that over to the main screen. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. And what do I always say, kids? Season everything. Now, if you just throw seasoning out here all willy-nilly like, it's not going to stick to your sweet potatoes. So we are going to use a little olive oil spray. Coat them on one side. Let's give them a quick flip over. This is like that game you play as a kid, concentration, but it's super easy for you to win. Just match the orange one. That's all you have to do. Let's give them another spray on the other side. All right, awesome. Now, I'm going to use a little Croy Valley Spicy Booster. Bam. One side done. Flip them on over. Look, I found the orange one. Look, I found it again. Oh, I'm so good at this. Oh, bam. And let's give a sprinkle to the other side. Easy enough, right? Season. Bam. Let's open it up, and we are going to just put these directly on the grate. And we're going to give the grate a little spray too. We don't want sweet potato sticking. Now you do that over a charcoal grill, you run the risk of blowing that up in your hand. You don't want to use a standard spray on a charcoal over a live fire. That can come back up into the can and explode it. Or light your arm hair on fire and burn off, or your eyebrows, or your face in general. So use a high temp spray. They have tons of different grilling sprays out there that is designed so you don't have an unfortunate, untimely accident. I'm really excited for these already. They're so simple to do as a side. Most everyone loves a sweet potato. And let's break out Mr. Smashy Smashy. And I'm going to pop back here. Smashy Smashy. Whoop. Super awesome. Let's pop on over. Break this meat up. Give it a nice little stir. Make sure that seasoning's working in. Another benefit to wild game. So when you're cooking red meat like burger and stuff, drop my smashy smashy. That's all right. I got other tools that I can smashy smashy with. That's on the ground, so now it goes in the bucket. We're not going to 5-second rule that. If it was off camera, I can't say that I wouldn't. But for the world to see, I put it in the bucket. I didn't use it. So, anyways, like I was saying, red meat, right? You do a burger like an 80-20 if you're doing that in a skillet for something. All that fat, and you got to drain that fat off. You don't run into that same issue with wild game at all because it doesn't have the fat. So you're not going to have anything to drain off, really. All right. Now I got a little bit of green onions here that I pre-prepped. People have seen me slice green onions enough that they don't need to see it again. So I'm actually going to throw those in that pan and let those sweat down. See, there's my other tool, Spoony McSpoonerson. This one, if I drop, then I'm in trouble because then I'm running out of tools. Then I got to go, hey, babe. She's like, yeah. She never sounds like that. She's like, what? I'm like, can you give me a spoon? She'd be like, okay. I'd be like, thank you. So we did antelope stuffed peppers on our first Wild Game Wednesday. Jen's one of those that always isn't the hugest fan when I'm like, let's cook wild game. So my goal is always, because I have someone that I live with and adore, for the record, that doesn't like wild game, it's always my goal to make something that she really enjoys, to change her concept about it. And the stuffed peppers, as she will tell you, really enjoyed it. Everyone really enjoyed the stuffed peppers. And it didn't have like a overly gamey taste. It didn't feel like you were licking a pine tree or something. All right, so we're gonna let that work down. Need to shut this lid so I can get the temperature back up to where it needs to be so we can cook that. I'm actually gonna hedge my bets and kick it up to about 450 just so it plays a little catch up there. All right, and I'm gonna get rid of this seasoning. Disposable cutting boards, the cutting boards of champions. Whoa. Sounds like one of those saws when you do a saw. Anyways, disposable cutting boards are great. They save on cleanup, and they're basically hard paper, so they're not bad for the environment either. So, look at that. Cleanup. Done. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Oh. If you're from our past episodes, you may remember this guy. We smoked some garlic, just lightly, just enough. I forgot we had him out here. Let's add a little garlic to the pan. Garlic makes everything taste awesome. If you like garlic, if you don't like garlic, probably won't taste awesome. Personal preference. I encourage you when you cook at home to take liberties with recipes. If you don't like something, don't put it in there. If you think something might taste good, try it. Put it in there. We do that all the time. Thank you if you're just joining us. I am Montana Max coming to you from Montana Max National Park based in Hastings, Minnesota. And we're on the bottom deck of the Grand Lodge here making lovely venison stuffed croissants. Yes. Mm-hmm. Montana, France of America, as nobody has ever called it except for me. And thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, make sure you follow us. We got lots of cool shows coming up. And I am just getting ready to prep up here a little of our smoked ginger from a past episode. And you can always watch all of our past episodes on our YouTube channel. If they disappear off of Twitch, because they have a time limit on Twitch, you can always go back, check out our recipes on the YouTube channel, and then on Instagram, there's all sorts of recipes that we've done over the last couple years on Facebook and stuff too, and we love interacting with people. That's why we're here. It's all about togetherness and interacting. That's one of my favorite things about food, is how it brings people together. Oh, look at Croy Valley's on Twitch. They're so hip and with it now. I am making venison stuffed croissants. Right now we're just adding a little smoked ginger to the venison that's in the pan. And what you might have missed, and I can pull it up here, we'll flip it over to camera number 2, and I'll just step back. We got some lovely sweet potatoes that we kicked a little spicy booster by Croy Valley. Thanks for being here. Onto the Traeger there, season both sides with our spicy booster, and we're gonna let those rock. I'm gonna take my smoked garlic here, pick it up with my Gunter Wilhelm Nicari knife. Into the pan you go. Where is Spoony McSpoonerson? Right here. This spoon has been with me my entire life. We fought together in the Great War. That's not true. That's not true. We didn't fight together in the Great War. I know. Sounds delicious. Well, we're hoping so. Oh, and we use Kansas City rub, of course, because that's where Kansas City Jen is from, to season up our venison. This is coming along nicely, absorbing that smoke. Got it rocking about 450 degrees. Ooh, that is smelling awesome. Smelling really awesome. All right. We'll let those ride there. We're going to have to flip our sweet potatoes shortly. In the meantime, let's work on some ingredients that are going to go inside of our stuffed venison croissants. It's not just venison. As much as I would probably love that, Jen insists that we eat a well-rounded, balanced diet. Whatever. Cool. So I got people that need to eat these that also appreciate a well-balanced diet. So let's try to get some other things in there. It's also going to help with the flavor. Unlike pumpkin beer. Oh my God. Why, God? Pumpkin spice. Oh. I love it because it's beer. I hate it because it's pumpkin. All right. Let's do these first because this is going to be less obnoxious. Unlike me. I'm just fully obnoxious all the time. Shiitake mushrooms. Bam. Let's bring it on over. Using my nikiri for all my vegetables tonight. And when we're rustic, we can chop a little bit more ruggedly. Thanks for joining us if you just tuned in. No need to take notes. I hope you're having a beer or a whiskey or a cocktail or whatever you like to drink. If you don't drink any of those and you just enjoy a Sprite, that's fine too. Whatever makes you happy, that's what it's about here on Montana Max Barbecue TV. So make sure you get something, you're kicking back. No need to take notes because you can always go back and watch all of our broadcasts and pretend it was live like you were there the first time. All right. Mushrooms do not take as long to cook or break down as the onions do. Huh. All right. Well, if you're on YouTube, sorry if the chat's disabled. We're always finding out new things, but you can always create a Twitch account and come over and chat with us there. It's probably my mom. My mom got on YouTube and got rowdy. They shut it down on her. That's the great thing about being here at the Great Lodge. Mushrooms, biodegradable, good for the planet. So those stems are just going to go over my shoulder. All right, that's probably enough of those. Meat's getting close. Let's go ahead and throw the mushrooms in the pan. So if you're cooking out in the wild and doing this kind of thing, like I've got a Traeger Ranger that I absolutely love. It's a portable Traeger. I like doing a lot of these wild game recipes where we're only using like one pan and some grates and things like that. Because you can't bring a full kitchen with you. So far, I've used 2 knives. One was just to open the package of meat. Everything else, bam. So if you're backpacking or whatever, and then of course my friend Spoonie McSpoonerson, my favorite spoon in the world. But not a lot of items. Not a lot of items to pack with you if you're on a trip. If you are going into the backwoods. Like that guy, I think everyone's seen the Fire and Flame guy. That he's got that weird knife, that big old knife. And makes all those dishes out in the boonies. Oh, that smells great. Let's add a little bit more seasoning here since we threw in some new veggies. All right, give it a nice little stir. Huh? Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining us, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Appreciate you being here. We're just in the middle. We got our meat cooked down for our venison stuffed croissants here. Just added a little mushroom. There's a little green onion in there. Of course, a lot of seasoning. Season the meat. Then we season our vegetables and things, that onion. And then over to the side, if you're just joining us, and I'm going to flip over, give you guys the camera here. You'll see all this orange there. That is sweet potatoes that we seasoned up that we're cooking right on the Traeger grill grate. Super awesome. Actually, they're probably about ready to flip here. I'm going to grab my tongs, and we're going to see what they look like underneath. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Incoming sweet potato. See, it's always like flying a drone or something. You're always working in reverse. See, it's got some nice little... Wrong way, wrong way. You can kind of see there. There we go. And back. Got some nice little char there. Starting to soften up. That's exactly what we want. So let's go ahead and flip these guys over. And you're going to want to rotate them, right? So the ones in the front, eventually you're going to want to move to the back. The ones in the back move to the middle, so on and so forth, because the sides of the Traeger, you're going to see that that's the hot zone, right? That's where you're going to get your most heat coming around. So your ones on the outside, they're going to get the most heat attention, if you will. Give this guy just a little pull out here. Just a little bit. 1 second, I'll give my attention right back to the camera, and all of you who I appreciate being here today, thank you so much. And while I'm thanking people, make sure you take a look below us here. I'm going to flip over here because they deserve it in big style. Bam! Thank you so much, everyone that's below us here. These are all people that either sponsor us on the Pro Competition Trail or with our cooking. All amazing people. Gunter Wilhelm Cutlery, the only cutlery I use. Con Coolers keeps all of our meats and beverages cold, whether we're going out boondocking or if we're on the competition circuit. If you've been there sitting at home and admiring, God, he is just gorgeous because of that beard. That's simply because of the beard struggle. Croy Valley Food, of course, with all of our seasoning, spices, and sauces that you see I implore all the time on the show here in 00 Drumco, which we were a factory team for. So, bam. Thank you to all of them. Make sure you check them out, all family-run businesses that really do great things. And you might even score some sweet discounts if you go to the links for the Beard Struggle and Con Coolers. Save yourself some money and also get the best quality products. We only promote things that we believe in, that we use, and that's why you don't see Pumpkin Beer as a sponsor below us. It's like I'm drinking like a really rough whiskey. Oh, God. Why? All right. Last thing to prep here, which I probably need a little bit more pumpkin beer to get through, is some jalapenos. That's how you pronounce them in Montana, jalapenos. The more common pronunciation is jalapenos. And your pro tip for this is wear some gloves because they're a little bit spicy. And that spice will stick on your hands. And then if you touch areas of your body, whatever it is, you get a little spicy there too. Thanks for joining us. Getting ready to do some jalapenos here. And we're going to make quick work of these. Wear your gloves. Don't touch your eyes. I about said something else. Guess what it is in the chat? And we're going to de-seed these guys. So we're going to take the spices in the seeds. We're going to take as much of that out. We want more flavor for this. The goal isn't to burn anybody out. So I'm just going to cut them down lengthwise and pull the middles out and brush these seeds out. If there's any extra ribbing in the middle, get rid of that as well. And while I'm doing that, you know what I'm going to talk about? Something that just popped into my head here. We qualified first in the state of Minnesota, Jen and I did, for World Food Championship this year. It's the biggest food sport competition in the world, hence the name World Food. But unfortunately, because of current events and everything going on, it was postponed till next year. Jen's in the chat. It's distracting me. Although you could just tell me those are beautiful sweet potatoes. They're going to do a virtual competition, which the details on that should be coming out soon. So figure if we can take Minnesota, we can take it to the world. We actually qualified it in the sandwich category. There's 10 different categories. So whatever you like to cook, it's not just professional chefs. There's tons of home cooks. You should really check it out. Get yourself involved. Right now, there is a couple competitions left on the docket. If you're competing this weekend in Minnesota here, they got the Smoking Gobbler, KCBS. If anybody's going to that, good luck to you. I appreciate what you do out there, because I do it myself, and I wish everyone the best of luck. And since I'm not there, I can do that. If I was there, I wouldn't be wishing you luck. I'd be wishing myself some luck. Because you definitely need that in food sport, is a little bit of luck to land on your side. But good luck to everyone competing or just cooking at home, because I know that can be stressful sometimes when you got jobs and things like that. All right, let's dice these bad boys. These guys, these jalapenos, are going to go inside our croissants. And that meat's like ready to go. Smelling delicious. Cooked all the way through. Ground meat, you want to get to about 165. So you don't get any nasties, any pathogens, or anything that'll make you sick. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us, whoever just popped in there. Appreciate you being here tonight. We are rocking and rolling these venison croissants. And you showed up just in time, because we're just about ready to really get things pulled together here. My mom's favorite part of the show, prepping. That I am being facetious. It is not. But, and I got to make a sauce too, but we'll do that when the croissants are cooking. And I'm going to be making a very Montana sauce today that's going to go on our croissants. Awesome. I always overestimate how much I'm going to need of an item. I'm finding out for these shows. I'm always like, yeah, I'm going to need 17 jalapenos. Nope, not so much. All right, and we got the seeds out of there, so it shouldn't burn anybody's palate out. You can always leave seeds in if you're like, I want to sweat. I really like it hot. If you're one of those type of dudes, by all means, leave those seeds in there, a few of them, and it will kick the heat level up where you want it. Yeah, we can cook them in with the meat. I actually want to get them just a little bit finer. I'm going to use my chef knife, though, because I'm going to rock it. And I got to be careful there. I about just touched my face, even with the gloves on. I don't know. I guess you'll have to stay tuned to find out. Not that I've ever used huckleberries for any dish ever. Figure that every chef's got to have some sort of calling card. Mine tends to be huckleberries. And if anybody in the chat can tell me what accessory is necessary for picking huckleberries, you can win a Montana Max sticker or a magnet or both, because that'd be really impressive. But if you know what the quintessential, I did this in my cooking class. Everyone's like, I talk with my hands a lot, and then when I'm holding a knife, I end up talking with my knife a lot too. Very stabby. Now listen to me. Understand what I'm saying. Okay, please, just put the knife down. yeah, if you know what the number one accessory for picking huckleberries is, I'll have you get in touch with me in my DMs, as the kids call them. Get in my DMs there, and we'll get you a prize. Oh, let's flip it over to... Look at that. Just freaking gorgeous. Just freaking gorgeous. Let's pull this tray out just a touch here, and we'll get these guys added in there. Just diced up some jalapenos. We got onions. We got smoked garlic. We got it all. And then once again, guess what comes after that? Spoonie McSpoonerson. My favorite spoon in the whole wide world. There we go. Mix those in there. They don't need a super long time to cook, because we want a little crunch, a little texture in there, but we want it to cook in and flavor up with the meat just a touch there. Awesome. This is going to be really good. I'm really excited about this. Jen says she is too. Bam. The sweet potatoes are looking good too, babe. You're going to love this. You're absolutely going to love this. Let's bang. Bang back there. Awesome. All right, things are rolling along nicely here. I'm going to just got a little extra seasoning on my cutting board. Let's just clear that off. Because now is the time to prep our croissants. Right after a taste of this lovely, delicious pumpkin beer. Jen's got a big notepad. She's writing me a message. Spray cutting board. Spray cutting board. I thought it was something critical to the stream. I was going to spray the cutting board. I know you know that. You think just because I've had a pumpkin beer, R17 from the pumpkin patch, that I wouldn't spray my cutting board? I might not. All right. So we're going to be using store-bought croissant dough. It's sticky. Jen is absolutely right. I kind of feel like we're playing win, lose, or draw with this method. Like, she's going to, like, have this thing, and then I'm going to be like, it's a cat. No, it's a tree. What is it? What is it? Oh. Let me see the book. Oh, I love you too. What a great partner. She's actually wearing a shirt. We went to a concert. Jen does have my back. More than you frickin' know. Jen is wearing a shirt today, actually, of a fun time. We actually went to OK Go. If you don't know who OK Go is, and you're on YouTube, you are doing YouTube wrong. Because that's like how they got famous, is all the super crazy videos that they've made for stuff throughout the years. You should definitely check them out. All right, so I got the croissant sheets. You want the dough sheets. And one of my favorite things by Pillsbury is these stupid frickin' cans. Because you press on them and they pop, and it's really fun. Boop! Every time. I do not care how old I get. I love that. I could sit and do that all day. Awesome. New viewer. Thanks for joining us, too. If you're enjoying what you see, or even if you don't enjoy what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow button. We got tons of great stuff coming up. We've got awesome shows 3 times a week. I'm actually working on a 4th one now that's going to be alcohol-based. So if you like alcohol, it's called, Jen does it. This is the first time Jen's heard about this, but I'm looking on a Saturday night show, and Jen loves when I make drinks because I usually make really fun and fruity drinks that I wouldn't drink myself, so she gets to drink them all. And she's like, these are great, make me another one. But that show, I'm looking at doing reviews on different spirits and beers and stuff, and then also making really fun craft cocktails that you can make at home too. And that one's going to be called Raise the Bar with Montana Max. I know, right? Puntastic. Jen liked that. She's like, ooh. All right. So I got my sheet here. I'm going to roll it out on my cutting board. And get it nice and even. Let's throw that up on the main screen there. All right, so you can see that this is rolled out. Nothing, no message. Okay. I thought you were getting all prepped up. Now, the easiest way to do this, you can do it with a knife and then spray your knife. But here's your pro tip for cutting croissants. Because that would be maybe awesome, but that's not what we're going to do. We're actually going to just spray right here. Pizza cutter. Everyone's got a pizza cutter. We have several. I'm going to give it a little spray just to make sure nothing sticky to it. I'm going to have to get a hold of David Malik and be like, man, we need a Gunter Wilhelm pizza cutter. We'd use it all the time, at least once a week. And then you're just going to go right through it. Bam. That's it. Make little squares. It's very delicate, which isn't a problem for me because I'm just totally delicate with everything. And we're going to lay them out here. I got a little crazy on this guy. That's all right. We'll just kind of stick them back together. All right. Awesome. And I'm going to move this cast iron pan because that's going to be for the sauce here in a minute. And I'm going to move out our other cast iron pan. I'm going to bring it over. Look at that wild game deliciousness. Look at that. That is delicious. And put this on the burner. Oh. It's croissant time. Bam. 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 Awesome. Sweet potatoes are coming along good. Let's move those to the top rack here. Real quick. We're going to leave the temperature up because we're going to be, in a sense, baking because we're doing croissants. So we're actually going to be baking on the Traeger. Grilling, smoking, baking, all in one episode. It's phenomenal. So much you can do year-round. It's actually super nice today. Great, beautiful fall day up here in Minnesota. But just get ready. When it's 30 below and we're still cooking out here, you're going to see the power of outdoor cooking. Last year I was smoking cheese in January. And I was outside and my beer was freezing. It was that cold. And it takes quite a bit for beer to freeze. I know what you're thinking. Well, drink it quicker. Drink it quicker. Well, then I did. Oh, you think my beard's going to freeze? It could. Could look like I'm on an episode of Alone. And I'm out in the Arctic and my beard's going to have all these ice things. I'm going to come off and be like, I made you this delicious food that I caught in a trap. All right. Awesome. We got everything together here to make our croissants, except for the one thing I do need is a little of that and a little of that. I got some melted butter here and a little brush, and I'll show you what we're doing with those right now, actually. We're going to, well, that was melted. Oh! It's all right. The melted butter is no longer melted. I'm not going to worry about it. Not a big deal. We're just going to give it a quick spray with some olive oil. Use melted butter if you can, though. It's going to be so much flavor and stuff like that. But I got talking and drinking the pumpkin beer And then all of a sudden my butter's not melted no more. I should start doing the whole show like this. They'd be like, oh my God, look at that crazy redneck from Montana. See, Montana don't have rednecks. That's a misconception. That's like other regions. Montana has cowboys and ass kickers and me, Montana Max. It's not redneck. Different deal. Different deal. Where's my Spoonie McSpoonerson? There we go. All right, so we're going to not burn ourselves on that pan because we're going to use our glove for control of the handle. And we're going to take our awesome little ingredients here. We're going to spoon them right into the middle of our croissants. That is a giant piece of garlic. Somebody's going to get that and go, ooh! All right. So we got that. And you see every piece there, it's got a little bit in there. And you're like, all right, let's close them up. But what would make this better? What could we possibly do? I mean, that's pretty rad, right? No, wrong. If you answered yes, you're incorrect. We're going to add cheese because cheese makes everything better. But not just any cheese for these. Cream cheese. And I will tell you, I hate cream cheese packets. They're my least favorite thing to open in the world. Except for avocados. I hate opening avocados too. So, because this is all going to cook, I'm not going to spread it. I'm going to just put little cubes of cream cheese. I'll do this right on the cutting board. That's still, even though my butter's not melted, my cream cheese is still holding together because we got fall weather coming in. So take my chef's knife. Leave that guy right there. It's starting to get a little sticky. Little sticky. That's all right, though. And we're going to put a little piece of cream cheese right in the middle of the croissant. Right in the middle. That's actually kind of large. Just put that one on that guy. This guy needs a little bit more filling. Try to get it as even as possible. If you've just been joining us, we are making venison stuffed croissants full of awesome goodness. Jalapenos, green onions, little smoked garlic, and now we have added cream cheese. And get everything as close to the center of this bad boy as you can. I'll wipe my hands off here real quick. I'll pop that back. All right, and so now what we're going to do with the croissant dough is we are going to turn them all into origami swans. Yes, you heard me correctly. Through the power of pumpkin beer, we're going to make origami swans. We are not making origami swans. I can't even make one out of paper, let alone dough. I know somebody who can make swans, and that's name is Derek Medeiros, and he makes them out of apples. All right, so all we're going to do is take the four corners of our croissant dough and bring them up with the edges. And if stuff spills out, that's okay. And we're just going to pinch them down. There we go. I'll bring one over to the camera here so you can kind of see what's going on here. Just like that. Just like that. Super easy. You just give them a little pinchy. Just a little pinchy. Now let's switch back to the main screen. And you can close them more up too and make it more kind of like a dumpling style. Whatever you want. Whatever shapes you want to do. Some of these that I got a little bit feel happy with, I'm just going to close them up and do them more like a little bit of a dumpling looking thing. Like this one I got real feel happy with. So just move it around, get a nice even filling for it. Another new viewer, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us. We are just getting ready to put our venison croissants back onto the grill here. We also do have sweet potatoes in there that we're cooking for the side. That I got real feel happy with. That's okay. These are filled with venison that's been cooked down with jalapeno peppers, green onions, smoked garlic that we did on a past episode. And then, of course, cream cheese and a crescent roll. All right, I'm going to step off camera. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. You can still hear me, though. I just got to grab one of my magical cooking screens here. Pizza screen. Give her a spray with the olive oil. You don't want your stuff sticking to it. There we go. And we're going to put our little folded up concoctions here right onto the screen. Make sure they all hold together nice and evenly. All right. And then so the outside gets nice and golden brown, I would brush these with butter. But our butter was previously melted, and I ended up drinking too much pumpkin beer and talking too much. So we're just going to give them a little spritz with olive oil. Works just fine. And we're going to throw those guys back onto the Traeger wood, the Traeger ironwood, and let them go. And I'm going to put my cast iron pan back in there because I'm actually going to need to fire up my burner for the sauce we're doing. Those sweet potatoes are looking awesome. All right, so let's get our sauce going. Burner on. Cast iron on. Let's give our pan a little spray here. This is not going to take very long. We are going to be using Montana huckleberries that were harvested in Glacier National Park area. No one's been able to guess what the #1 accessory for huckleberry hunting is. That's all right. I'll tell you at the end of the episode what you absolutely have to have if you go huckleberry hunting in Montana or Washington or Idaho. All those states grow huckleberries, but Montana's are the best. It's a known fact. So I've got right here dish of huckleberries. If you don't have huckleberries on hand, don't panic. You can still make this recipe. It's super great with either blueberries or blackberries as well. So the first thing we need to do is get those working in the pan. All the way up on high heat and start breaking those guys down. No, I can't keep up with the chat. I got to learn how to get that thing to scroll down. Not a big deal. Jen will relay it to me, won't you, dear? Thank you, babe. So we're going to have the huckleberries cooked down. And with the back of our spoon, when they start getting hot, we're going to give them and do a little smashy. Get all those juices working together. The one thing you'll see, and why I love huckleberries, besides them just being unique, is they have an absolute brilliant color to them that when you're applying them to whatever you're making, even if it's ice cream or whatever, it's a very deep purplish maroon that you just can't get. They're just super gorgeous. When we did Culinary Fight Club, the first time when we won, which was awesome, we used huckleberries as our secret ingredient, and we had huckleberries on a grilled cheese sandwich we made, but then we also used the liquid and made a huckleberry vinaigrette for a side salad with apples. And this was totally unintentional. It wasn't part of the plan, but that vinaigrette stained the apples. And those apples almost look like, the best way to describe it is like a plum because of that color of purple that came out in it. They were absolutely gorgeous. All right, but enough about how much I love huckleberries. Let's get going on this sauce. So we're going to add apple cider vinegar. Just a dash of that. And then we are also going to add, right here, some brown sugar. Huckleberries can be a bit on the tart side. So a little brown sugar there will help cut that edge of the bitterness or the tartness and sweeten it up a little bit. And then, also, because it's acidic, I'm going to throw in some mint leaves as well. And that'll give it a real fresh taste. And we're actually going to cook these mint leaves whole in there while the sauce works, and that mint flavor will distribute. I love fresh mint. It's one of my favorite things. I'm not like a huge mint gum person or anything like that, but fresh mint, I just really enjoy that smell. We're pulling these away from the stem just so no one gets a stem of stupid mint stem in their sauce. But I'm going to bust out the drizzle spoon. Everyone knows how much I love my drizzle spoon. Take a quick peek. Whoop! Beautiful. I'm not going to show you. Normally I'd open that up and be like, look what we got going on here. But they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Take my word for it. Stick around. I'm going to show you on a plate. You'll notice that I wasn't like, and add 1/3 tablespoon of brown sugar to your sauce. That's not typically how I cook for the family. It's not typically how I cook in competition. I cook to taste, I cook to temperature. And so I'll give her a little taste here, and then if I want it sweeter, always start with less. You can always add more. You can't take it out after you put it in there. Well, there's ways you can do it, right? But then you got to add more of like all your ingredients, right? It becomes a mess. If you just take your time, add a little bit of seasoning at a time, you'll raise up to that level you need to be. If it tastes good to you and you're happy, that's what counts. Unless it's pumpkin beer that I'm drinking this evening. Then I've got a problem, because that's the way it tastes. We're just smashing these huckleberries down. They're getting nice and hot. Reducing down. Let's take a little taste here. Ooh. Yep, right where I want it. You'll find too, the more that you cook, the more you find what you like. The more you know how to season. You say like, oh, he's just all willy-nilly with that seasoning there. I cook almost every night for the fam here and cook for Jen and the kids and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, I know I've seasoned a pound of hamburger. I've seasoned 2 pounds of hamburger. I know how much I need to add. So when you're all like, wow, thanks for telling me how much to add. It's a taste thing. If you want to get that specific, hit me up in the DM. Send me a message. If you have questions, connect with us. I'm going to throw it over to my video here. Connect with us on Instagram, for example, or Facebook, or any of these. You can send me an email if you have questions, or you want ideas, or you just want to talk about barbecue or food or anything. That's cool. That's why I'm here. It's what I like to do. All right, that's coming along nice. I'm going to turn that heat down just a touch. Spoony McSpoonerson, you've done your job today. All right. Real happy with these. Real happy with these. I'm going to leave this out because I'm going to be making more of these probably when we go off the air for everyone to eat. Doing them in small batches here, but I don't have my watch. My watch died. I don't even know what time it is. Dear, do you know what time it is? 8:03. It's 8:03, and thanks for being with me. And, of course, Kansas City Jen, who's keeping it real, and as always, she's hungry. Thanks so much for joining us, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. Make sure you give a subscribe there or a follow. Find us on social media. Get in touch. Have some fun. And you can tag us, of course, with Montana Max BBQ TV if you joined us and you saw something you like. Or whatever. Tag whatever. I'm not telling you how to live your life unless you think you want a pumpkin beer. Then don't do it. It's nice. You won't be able to see the brand, so I'm not talking bad about anybody. This is pumpkin beer in general. Not a big fan. I got it in a fall pack or something. You didn't know? You didn't know? I didn't know. When I bought it, I was like, oh, this is going to be really, really interesting. Hopefully good. Just waiting for my dough to finish cooking with the croissant there. Our sauce is looking nice and rustic and good. That mint's all cooked down in there. Still got a little tartness, which I want for this dish, with a little sweetness and that little hint of mint. I'm going to pour in just a little bit more apple cider vinegar just to keep the liquid there. I don't want it burning. That'll cook down. All right. I like a little green on all my dishes, whether it be onion or whatever. Tonight I'm using parsley because I like it. I don't care what anyone says. So I'm going to use parsley. A lot of people are like, that's so dated. That's so, bleh. I don't care. I like it. I've always liked it. I think it adds a nice fresh feel without being overpowering. Parsley was originally added on sides of plates as a breath freshener for after your meal. That's why when you go to like older timey restaurants, they always would serve a sprig of parsley on the side of the dish, and it was a natural breath freshener. That's kind of how that came into play. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. You joined us at the perfect time because we're just getting ready to plate up. Venison stuffed croissants this evening on Wild Game Wednesday. That contain, of course, venison whitetail from Big Sky Country, green onions, jalapeno peppers, cream cheese, and smoked ginger. When we're making a lovely huckleberry reduction sauce that's going to go right over the top of it. Jen says it smells amazing. I agree. It does, in my opinion, smell amazing as well. Awesome. Thanks for popping in. Just getting ready to plate up. You're here at the perfect time. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe or follow button. And, of course, check out all these beautiful sponsors below. They all support us in what we do, whether we're cooking here on Montana Max Barbecue TV or we're on the competition trail. All great companies. You can find out all about them in my About section on YouTube or Twitch. And I did update both About sections. So it's got the whole crew. The whole crew. You can go check them out. Score some discounts on con coolers and the beard struggle as well. Super awesome. These guys are good to go. Where is my hot glove? I'm going to put those just right on top of there for right now. And that sauce is done, so I'm going to turn that off. Let's flip it back over to the main camera here. And I've got a plate. Hey, check that out. Get the pretty ones for you guys. Get the pretty ones. This one kind of deconstructed, but we'll do them right there on the end. It'll give you a good glimpse of what the insides look like here as well. And then let's put on the side a little of that sweet potato. Sweet potato going down the side. We're going to line both sides with it. There we go. And then I need my glove. Thanks for joining us here, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. We're just plating up. Join us at the perfect time. And then for sweet potatoes, just for fun, just a light dusting of Parmesan cheese. Awesome, that's all you need. Just a little bit for a little texture. Everyone loves cheese. Let's see if my drizzle spoon's that'll work. This is a little bit thicker sauce, so it's not gonna completely drizzle here, but, oh, this will be perfect though, because I can hold the spoon up to the camera here and really show you. There we go. That's the color of huckleberry. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? Just love that color. We're just going to spoon our huckleberry sauce. Right over the middle of it here. And then just a lovely sprinkle of parsley. And that's it. I'm going to hold her up here for the camera for you to see. There we go. We have venison stuffed croissants that are filled with whitetail venison, peppers, smoked garlic, onion, mushrooms, and cream cheese wrapped in a croissant pastry. Then on the side there, we have smoked sweet potatoes that are just basic seasoned with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And then our huckleberry sauce right down the middle of the plate, right on top of your deals there. Babe, you want to give it a try? Okay, come on over. Let's flip back to the main view here. Jen's not wearing a mic, so I'll have her speaking to the beard. Come on over, babe. Do you have silverware? They might be hot. They're not too bad. You could pick it up if you wanted. You want to get real rustic. You try. I just touched it. It's not too bad.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pick it up.
Go ahead. What do you think? You like it?
Oh, you're gonna love it. Oh, it's so good.
Perfect, she says. Let's try one of these sweet potatoes. That's going to be really hot right off the grill. I'm going to take a plate and take all these sweet potatoes off. And then we're going to get things wrapped up. That's what we're going to do. Losing my taters. Go for it. Try sweet potato. Tell me what you think. Well, Jen's trying a sweet potato. Step right up here, dear, so I can walk up here. I'm going to bring these up, and you see in the camera in the bottom there. There we go.
Excellent.
Lovely, rustic, flavorful touch to add to any wild game dish. You like that?
Delicious. Yes.
Talking to the mic. Just kidding. Smell the beard. Smell the beard. Smell the beard. She loves the beard. So.
Oh, you're gonna. It's delicious.
Good. Happy Jen means happy Max. It even makes me happy over the pumpkin beer that I'm not going to waste. I'm going to finish it because I'm stubborn. But once again, thank you everyone that joined us this evening on Wild Game Wednesday. We made venison stuffed croissants with a huckleberry reduction sauce that went over the top. Say words like that, like when you're cooking for people. If you're cook for the wife, say words like, I made a reduction. She'll be like, oh my. And that's all it takes. It's not hard. You just saw what we did here. Few simple ingredients. I mean, all we did was slice the sweet potatoes, season them, put a little cheese on at the end just for a little look and a little texture there. But tons of flavor. And that's what's awesome about smoking and grilling. So thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that follow button. Check us out, of course, on all of our channels, like our Instagram, right over here. See? Nice Instagram. Nice. And we're on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of good stuff. We'd really appreciate it if you followed along. We do lots of cool things that are different on all of our channels across the board. So all that's super awesome, and we super appreciate it. Make sure you tune in Friday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, because that's a Friday night barbecue party where lots of craziness can occur because it's Friday and I don't have to go to work the next day. So we do things like drink whiskey and gasoline and cook barbecue and have a really good time. Oh, of course. So new people just tuned in right now. Tune in Friday. That's when we're going to be back. Or go back and watch this show because we had a good time tonight. And make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button. It was a super awesome time. We made some super awesome food. That's not hard to do. You can do it at home. If you have questions, hit me up in my DMs. And yeah, thank you everyone who tuned in. It was a really great time. I'm so glad you could all be here. It means the world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, for those about to cook, we salute you. Have a good night, everybody.